Hey everybody. So I was having a conversation with someone on LinkedIn earlier, and they were mentioning AI agents kind of in this future context. And I thought it was interesting because they're AI researchers themselves, and then it made me realize that AI technology is advancing so rapidly at this point that it is hard even for people that are researchers and deep in the field to keep up with all advancements that are going on. It's just so fast and so rapid. I'm used to technology as a whole. I've been in technology for about 20 years, but I have never seen technology advance as quickly and as rapidly as AI. And then so it's very interesting from that front and from that perspective. And so it made me realize that even though there's technology that I know is out that this is technology that probably a majority of people and even potentially even AI researchers don't know is out. So uh, I want to frame this video in that context and then speak about AI agents in the now because AI agents are in the now. And then so um, when Sam Altman, for example, with his recent video or his recent comments where he states that he wants to it's his goal to have AI replace like the median human with AI. Like we're not far off from that. Like we're getting there, and um, this is where his vision for that is coming from. I guess would be kind of the bottom line there. I'll start there, and then we can dive deeper into this concept. But so starting off with essentially an overview of what is capable within the status quo. This is, I think, like the best resource that I found for that, and this is AI Agents Landscape by E2B, and then it's Cloud for AI Agents and AI apps. They split it between open source and closed source, which I really like, and this is on GitHub. I'll leave a link to in the description to this in the video. But so they also break it up into different categories. So like coding, productivity, general purpose, etc. And then so you go down, and then there's just a huge list. The thing that I think is important though to uh, keep in mind is that like these are big lists, and these are lots of companies, and there's lots of companies on both sides of these, but like 90 or home basically like 100% of these companies are uh, reliant on ChatGPT 4, at least ChatGPT 3.5, but they're all reliant on ChatGPT, and some of them are also like kind of like making this list look a lot bigger than it would be, so like because they're iterative. So you have like baby cat AGI, baby fox, baby B, and then so it's like it started baby AGI, and then it was baby AGI, and then baby B AGI, baby cat AGI, baby fox, and then so it's, like kind of that like it was a an iteration. So baby fox is encompassing a baby cat, and baby cat was encompassing a baby B. So they're spreading this out on that end, and then also again, all of these on the back end are ChatGPT. And then so I think that is significant there to me. And so that's the first thing that, like, on the research end, that is the most fascinating question to me. And the question that I'm personally stuck on with all of this and that I think about the most is that uh, why is it just ChatGPT that we can do this with right now? And then so is it just the parameter count flat out? Like, is so overall, I am of the opinion that we shouldn't be going like higher and higher with parameters. I don't think it's going to do much. Like, I think if you go to a trillion, who cares? Like you go past a trillion, who cares? I think uh, if like I think that like the difference between like you could max out the difference between like 130 and like 7, but I don't think we're there in the status quo. Like I think in the status quo, what you're seeing is that like you can outperform ChatGPT like 3 with 7 parameters or 7 billion parameters in that range, and then so and that's 100% where we're at within the status quo. So I don't think it's necessarily increasing in parameters, but perhaps it is if we're talking about agent capabilities, and so I don't know that. I can only infer that based off of the data that I have at the moment, which is that uh, a majority of these models are based off of ChatGPT, and then a majority of them are based off of ChatGPT 4. And then when I look at the research papers and everything behind this, I like that. That's 100% supported. That where it's like there's a big and significant leap between 3.5 and 4, especially when it comes to these things like reinforcement learning, like anything that is like agent-based reinforcement learning, etc. There's big leaps between 3.5 and 4, and then so again, is that an like, is this the area where parameters actually matter? And it could be, right? Like, because this is a much more complex task. So, like, maybe we can get 7 billion parameter model to be like very focused on one thing, and then we need the 1 trillion parameters to do it. But then, like, also too, it makes me think on the other end, like, could we get like 1 billion parameter models that are focused on like one thing, and then if you string one like 1 billion parameters models together, why not do that rather than 1 trillion model, right? 10 billion compared to 1 trillion. Would that work? I don't know. No one's tried it. So everyone's only tried ChatGPT 4. So uh, I guess like number one, I think that it's important to understand that this technology exists, and then two, hoping that like people will start iterating on this technology and playing around more, so we get like more answers to like that question right now. That's the big one to me. But so then I guess going now that we've gone into and over kind of like the technical breakdown and the architecture of this, kind of bringing back to the fundamental question that I started this video off with or that fundamental statement, which is like Sam Altman's statement, and replacing median humans, because I think that this ties into that, because this is the so with like the like I think that the uniqueness of um, AI agent development specifically is that it's the one part of AI where like you've got the like researchers that are all for it, and then also too like the corporate world is all for it, right? Like so this is like uh, the nexus point between like all of the interests for AI are around this, because uh, on the research end, it's like the research end so that because you need this on the research end in order to get the end goal, which is AGI. So if you want AGI, which is like an autonomous agent that is like more capable and intelligent than a median human, then you essentially, first of all, need it to have agent capabilities. Like that's like one of the first requirements there. So step one, agent capabilities. Step two, AGI. And then so that's kind of like where the logic is with that. And then in the corporate world, everyone wants this because it's just like the most profitable thing for the corporations ever that could exist, right? And so like that's what's driving this forward, and that impetus forward. And then so where does it like going back to that Sam Altman statement? What does this mean for the future? So to me, I think that there's no way to ignore that there's essentially like two realities and two futures that are coming forward within this. Like, future number one is dystopian, which is that all of this is closed, and it's a very few amount of people get access to the deeper technology. And uh, I don't think that Sam Altman is wrong in his statement overall with what that AI could easily and very soon replace like the median human. And I think that he says that like like his statement in that was like very clear with that, right? The median human. And so what that means on the flip side of that statement is, and I think this is what Sam Altman thinks in this is that and a lot of people think, if you're going with the dystopian view, is that uh, you have essentially a like the most elite, the best combination that you could possibly have in that instance would be the most elite AI model coupled with an elite human, right? And then like an elite, it could be broken up into different categories, like the most elite coder, the most elite athlete, the most elite scientist, the most elite physicists within science. Like you could break that up into individualized categories, right? But coupling like elite with elite, like that fusion and like that combination is going to be like far superior to anything else. Like and it'll be a advantage like like a elite physicist that uses an elite AI that is trained in physics is going to just beat every other physicist in the world that doesn't use AI in that instance. Like it'll just be how it will break down. And then so I think like that's the goal that Sam Altman has in mind when he says like replacing the median human and like what that looks like for the future. But so I think the future number two, and like the more kind of like to me like the better future is that we develop this technology where it's not like technology that only is owned by a few people, and that is much more dispersed. And then so that's why you like the a lot of the talks around the like open source compared to closed source are around that on a fundamental level when it comes down to AI. Like this is like fundamental arguments as to kind of like the uh, what the like future of all of this looks like in the end. Um, is it a world that's controlled by a few people and like it's going to be a few people that are elite on some level? So that's again like if they're if you monetary eliteness is an eliteness in that category too, right? Like anything that would be like the most elite, that would be coupled with the most elite. That's going to be the best combination that you can have. But so, do you want that world, or do you want a world where like that's more spread out, more dispersed, and then we deal with that world holistically as a world and make like I don't know, like a better world. I guess I think it's utopian, but like that's the two realities. Like it's either reality A or reality B, and I understand that reality B is this like utopian, but reality A is very dystopian. So like. Like why not? I'd rather just lean towards utopian. Maybe it's utopian to think that, but like I think it's a possibility. I think it could exist, and so I think that's the underlying on the research end, going back to kind of like the utopian end of that, uh, the reason why like researchers go towards AGI on that level is I think that that's also another perhaps escape valve within this. To me, is that like if we can develop AG, like if we can, so if that equation is true, that elite plus elite, like elite human plus elite AI is the best combination, then the best like kind of defense against that would be to make AI the most elite, right? Like make it so that like the AI is not subservient to the elite human in that instance, and like under no level, and then so the AI makes that call and the decision in the end. Whether that's good or not, I don't know, but like if it's a dystopian future, like so if the future is racing towards dystopia, then that's the one escape valve that can be pulled from that future. So to me, it's either racing towards utopia or racing towards that escape valve of AGI. And I don't know which one we're going to reach first, but that's kind of like where I look at these things, and I think a lot of people look at these things overall, like if from the research end, and that aren't Sam Altman. I mean, not to knock it, just being flat out honest with it. But so, if you like this type of content, please like and subscribe. I try to, present these things as realistically and objectively as possible. That's kind of my goal with all of this, and where I've decided to like take my voice around AI from the beginning. So thank you very much, and hope you have a great day.